It's all over but the finals, folks. Hi, I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report, and TKR VideoCentral, and this is the Eurovision Central area as we go into it. Welcome to the Road to Eurovision, the grand finals for 2023. It's been an interesting contest so far. There's been some upsets. Some people made it into the finals that didn't expect to. We're going to go over the 26 remaining finalists and what the order they'll be in, talk about the songs, talk about the odds, talk about a little bit of everything else. First off, I want to say that I have enjoyed watching it this year. There's some songs I really don't like that got through, as we all know, and there are some big fan favorites. We'll talk about the odds and the fans voting at the end of the show. But for right now, let's get into those 26 finalists. 9 of this year's competitors have been eliminated already, and it is now up to those other 26 people, the 20 that got through the semifinals, the Big Five, and last year's winner, Ukraine, will all compete for that beautiful Eurovision microphone trophy this afternoon. The Eurovision Song Contest will air in the United States at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's 12 noon Pacific time on the Peacock streaming service owned by NBC. We were going to do a watch-along, but that actually did not work out on Tuesday, so I was unable to do one on Thursday, and will be unable to do one today. I'm really sorry. I really hoped we would have some fun on the chat and stuff, but that's okay. We'll get through it. I want to say also what a bang-up job the presenters have been doing this week. Alicia Dixon, Hannah Waddingham, and Julia Sanina have done a terrific job. They'll be joined on the finals today by the Dean of Eurovision in the UK, Mr. Graham Norton. A lot of great stuff. The American coverage will have Johnny Weir doing commentary. So if you're in the Americas, you will get a chance to see that. And he's actually quite a big fan. I was worried about that when they brought him in last year, but he's actually a big fan of the show and did a great job, and I'm sure he'll do a great job on the finals. Let's go over the 26 finalists that will be competing. We'll give you in the order that they will be on the show. Running order was announced shortly after the second semifinal on Thursday. So here we go. First up, one of the most popular songs this year, Austria, Taya and Selena, and Who the Hell is Edgar, performing in English. Who the Hell is Edgar is cute little disco-y Euro pop ditty about a songwriter whose writing is so good because her typewriter is Edgar Allan Poe reincarnated. It's a completely silly storyline, but it's a fun song, and it's very popular with the fans. Second up will be Mimi Cat and I Curaçao in Portuguese. She is performing for Portugal, of course. I've enjoyed this all the way through. I think she's really something. She has quite a fan following also. In the third slot, Remo Forer performing for Switzerland, his song Water Gun in English. Water Gun, very much an anti-war song. The lyrics are a little dark. I actually they're not as dark as I thought they were. I went back and checked the lyrics on some of these. I love his voice. He's going to be a big star one of these days. I love his singing. I've added him to my Spotify so I get stuff noticed when they come out. It would be interesting. And the performance was good on the semis, so it should be really interesting today. Performing fourth, Poland, one of the surprises in this year's contest, if you ask me, Blanca and Solo. She was not expected to get through the semifinals, but she did. This is what happens when you have the semifinal being voted on strictly by the fans. There were no juries involved with this year's semifinals for the first time in about 15 years. It's all popular vote, so that surprised everybody. So it's a decent little number, not great, not terrific, not bad. It's just there for me. Some people like it. I don't think there's much chance of her taking the title, though. Number 5, Serbia. Luke Black performing Samo Misi Spava. which is partially in Serbian and partially in English. He's getting a lot of praise for his staging. It is staged like a giant video game. It is fantastic. The song itself is not bad. It's not one of my absolute favorites, but I definitely like it. I think he's an interesting performer. He's definitely got the girls watching him. Not a bad looking dude at all. Serbia, of course, I believe is one of the favorites last year. Wasn't Konstraka from Serbia also? Serbia always does well, and they will probably do well this year. In 6th, the first of the big 5, France, Lazara, and Évidemment, which is obviously in English. In French, this song is really good. I'm surprised how much I like it. I like the dance beat behind the chorus. It's very much a mix of a dance song and the more traditional French songs like Voila that Barbara Pravi did a couple years ago. Not a bad little number at all. I can't get over that giant chocolate wafer cookie she's wearing as a hat, but it's a lot of fun, and it's a good song too. 7th, one of my favorite songs in the competition this year, Cyprus, Andrew Lambrow, and Break a Broken Heart. This has American hit all over it. If it gets an American release, it will be a hit. It could be this year's Snap, which Rosalind hit the chart with last year. Surprised everybody. Great song, great vocalist. He is terrific. He doesn't have as much support as I think he should. I wish more people were watching him because I really like that. Next up, Spain, another one of the favorites of the Big 5, Blanca Paloma performing Ia Ia. She is performing in Spanish. She is one of the fan favorites. Terrific person, terrific personality. The song itself is a typical Spanish number. I don't know whether I would call it a bolero. It has a bolero style to it, but it has a great vocal on it, and could be a major factor this year. Excuse me for my cough. I don't know what's going on. I don't think some of my meds are working properly. Number 9, this year's odds-on favorite and this year's fan favorite, Loreen, Sweden's, and Tattoo. Loreen, of course, the winner of the 2012 contest with Euphoria, which has gone on to become the biggest selling Eurovision winner of the past decade. This song is in English, supposedly. I can't understand a word she's saying when she's singing it. I had to look up the lyrics. And those nails, oh my God, those nails are scary. I actually think of Loreen more as a performance artist. She has an incredible voice, and she is an incredible person in real life. She does a lot of charity work. She's an amazing act. And I definitely see the popularity in this song. It's not my choice for the win, but I won't be surprised or disappointed if she wins, as long as she keeps another song out of the win, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Number 10, Albania, performed by Albina and Familja Kelmindi. The song is Duje in Albanian. I wasn't thrilled with the video, but I loved the semifinal performance. It was so much better live than it is on the video. The video is kind of dull. Everybody was spot on with the music. Everybody was spot on with their vocals. It really is a great song, and it's popular with the fans. Albania usually does get to the finals, and for rightfully so, because they always do great songs, and this one is no exception. Number 11 in the running order, the third of the Big 5, Marco Mengoni and Due Vite in Italian. I saw the performance clip they ran of him on one of the semifinals. That shirt, dude, you got to get rid of that shirt. It's terrible. I hope that's not what you're wearing for the finals. Fashion is everything, and that is not it. The song is good. He's good. He's got a lot of support online. People really enjoy this song. I thought they've given him more support than Italy has gotten in every year, except when Måneskin won a couple years ago. Really good song. Number 12, another one of my personal favorites, Alika and Bridges, representing Estonia. Love this song. Very Celine Dion ballad style. Love her. I'm going to keep an eye on her. She's got an amazing voice. Staging is simple and fantastic. Number 13, the bane of my existence this year, Finland. Karija and Cha Cha Cha. People, I don't know what you see in this song. I really don't. This song sucks from beginning to end. The performance, I said it on the live show the other day. he's dancing like SpongeBob. It's a SpongeBob dance. The song, lyrically, I suppose the song is fine. I just don't get the love for this piece of garbage. I just don't. I'm sorry, I just don't like this song. I will take any other song in the competition over this. Just keep this thing from winning. Please, juries, have some taste. Number 14, Chechnya. Vesna and My Sister's Crown performed in English with Ukrainian, Czech, and Bulgarian. I don't have anything against this song. It's not a bad song. I think it's better on stage than it was in the very confusing video. But the pink. What is it with pink at this year's Eurovision? Everybody's wearing pink. The pink outfits. I don't know. The staging I wasn't terribly impressed with as far as the look went. The dancing and stuff was fine, but and really good actually. But no. The pink has got to go. Number 15, Australia and Voyager with Promise. As I said on the semifinal live show, I didn't even notice they had a woman in the band until they performed live on the semifinal. Australia usually has good entries. They've only missed the finals a couple of times. And this is the last year on their current invitation. I no doubt that will be extended because people love seeing them compete. They obviously enjoy competing. Promise is a good rock song with some screamcore mixed in. Not full screamcore as Germany's is, we'll talk about in a minute, but it is really not a bad song at all. Number 16, another surprise, Gustav and Because of You, representing Belgium. I don't know if this should be a surprise or not. Belgium is always a fan favorite with the fans, but this year's song didn't get much love from many of the Eurovision YouTubers that put up their countdowns and stuff. It was usually in the middle to the bottom of the list. Belgium has had some great stuff. I personally love this song. It's in my top 10. Or just missed the top 10. I really like this song. I like Gustav. I'm going to keep an eye on him. He reminds me of the gentleman that performed for North Macedonia in 20 and 21. It slipped my mind. Vasil at the moment. I loved both of his numbers too. He has that same kind of vibe, that same kind of voice. I love that. And so this might do well. Number 17, another song that's going gaga with the fans that I just don't get. Armenia and Brunette with Future Lover. Very Billie Eilish. Very Olivia Rodrigo. The staging is, yeah. The song itself is okay. It's performed partially in English, partially in Armenian. Not one of my favorites, but it is a fan favorite, so it will probably do well. Number 18, Moldova, Pasha Parfini and Sorel Luna, performed in Romanian. Great stage presence, great staging, great dancing, great song. I tend to like Moldova every year, and there's only been a couple years I wasn't really that thrilled with them. This one is their best entry since My Number One by Dorados, which I think was 2017, may have been 2018. Great stuff from Moldova. Number 19, this year's entry for last year's winner, Ukraine, Tvorchi and Heart of Steel. This is surprisingly high in the odds makers. If that's so, it's going to be a sympathy vote because this is not the best song in the world. I didn't particularly care for Stefania last year when it won. It grew on me as I listened to it, and it's just not my style. The Ukrainian folk stuff, I wasn't a big fan of Go A either, but my wife loved them. It's not my cup of tea, but I recognize the greatness of the song. This song was better in its original form. They kind of did a revamp on it, and I don't really like what they did with the revamp. Sung partially in English, partially in Ukrainian. They're great performers, but I don't think this is going to be their year. We'll see. Number 20, another big fan favorite, Alessandra, representing Norway and Queen of Kings. The one thing I think they missed here, and I said this on one of the shows earlier this week, the staging could have been better. I mean, the dancing is great, and she looks great, but I would have loved to have seen all the dancers dressed as the kings that she's the queen of. The song is great. I love the song. And I think that there's a lot of potential here. I don't know that they're going to be really huge, but it wouldn't surprise me to see a top 10 finish from her. Number 21, Germany, the last of the fourth of the big five. Lord of the Lost and Blood and Glitter. This has huge following online. My wife is a huge fan of this. She likes the screamcore stuff. Lyrically, it's a fantastic song. I think the gentleman that does the lead vocals is incredible. Overall, I'm not a big fan of this type of music, but I can see where the fandom is coming from, and it could finish in the top 10. There's a lot of support for it. Number 22, another surprise finalist. Didn't expect this to get through on Thursday. Lithuania and Monica Linky and Stay. Lithuania is popular with Eurofans. They're the only Baltic country that has not yet won Eurovision. So European fans tend to get behind them. This song is not bad, not great. It's just there. Her vocals are superior. It's supposedly in English. Again, I had to go look at the lyrics because it's hard to hear. Peacock is having some weird problems with the vocals, with the vocal audio on stuff. I heard it much better when I watched it on YouTube. It's just there. It's not a bad song by any means, and the harmonies with the backup singers are fantastic. I don't really think it has much chance. I don't know. We'll see. Number 23, another one of my favorite songs this year. Koa Nerel representing Israel and Unicorn. Great dance number. Great song overall. Has that typical Hebrew sound in the song, which Israel is noted for doing almost every year. There is something magical about this song, and it's not just the unicorn. Noah is a really engaging person. She did a great job with the interview with Alicia the other day. Fantastic stuff. I think she's going to be a major star, and it could be worldwide like Netta has done. We'll see. The song is good, and I think it's going to do well. Number 24. This has been counted out by the odds makers, but what I see online from the fans tells me otherwise. Slovenia, Joker Out, and Carpe Diem, sung in Slovene, is really one of the only 3 contenders for that top spot right now, if the fan polls are right. Of the 30 or 40 my top 37 polls that I've been watching on YouTube, this is near the top on all of them, usually in the top 3, and it's a great song. I admit I'm a sucker for Slovenia now. I was a huge fan of LPS last year, which finished in dead last place, which was wrong, and that was on the semis. Joker Out is a more than worthy successor. Carpe Diem, the video is fun, the band is great, and I really think that the odds makers are underestimating the power of the fandom here, because the fandom loves this song. Slovenia will be 24th out of the order. 25th, this was a surprise on Tuesday, but then again, it shouldn't have been, because they usually do put through some acts which amuse people, and Croatia's Mama SC by Let 3 is doing that. It is performed in Croatian. You have a couple other anti-war songs, and they're like, let's go to war, you know. It's like, but the outfits are hilarious. They're pink, they're pastel, like almost, what are the overcoat, the trench coat type things, but they're in pastel colors. The vocals are good. They're great musicians, and it does have a comic bent from the video and the way that they're staging it. I don't really see it doing that well, unless the jury absolutely loves it, but it might do better than anybody thinks. Rounding out the show, and almost guaranteed for a top 10 spot at this point, Mae Mueller representing the United Kingdom, and I Wrote a Song. Oh my God, I love this song. This song is awesome. The video is great. The only thing, and I said this earlier in the week, the only thing that's going against her is that she reminds me too much of Stephanie McMahon from the WWE. She looks a lot like her, and it's kind of off-putting. I love this song, though. I think this is going to be a song worldwide that's going to be a huge hit. And if she can get a U.S. deal through her UK label, she's going to have it made. This song is great, and it plays very much into that Taylor Swift vibe about being wronged by her man, you know. And I think it's just a lot of fun. The video's fun. Her performance, live performance, is fun. Those nails are scary. Not as scary as Lorene's, but they're scary. And that's it. The 26 finalists. I'm not going to make any predictions of my own. I would like to, myself, if I were picking my top 5, Slovenia would be at the top. I love them, and I had them at the top. I would also have Cyprus and Estonia up there. I wouldn't mind if Loreen got in. I like Tattoo. I actually like Tattoo better than Euphoria. I'm not a big fan of Euphoria, surprisingly. It has a great dance beat, but it's the song is just kind of there. And Israel. Those would be my favorite, with Australia and United Kingdom as my outlying ones. Anything but Finland, please. Now, let's talk about the voting. The voting, of course, is now open to everybody. During the semifinals, it is only open to the countries participating, 3 of the big 5, and the rest of the world, which is brand new. We can now vote. If you live in the United States, if you live in Canada, you live outside of Europe, you can now vote. All of our votes are counting in a rest of the world aggregate, which are converted into points, and it will be shown for the first time on the show today. We don't know how well we did at the semifinals. It's 99.99 euros to vote, so a total vote of 20 votes would be 21.90 in American money. Your money, depending on where you are, will vary. There's the same fee that the Europeans are paying to vote. Rest of the world, guys, let's vote and make a difference. And let's really work on getting this into a success here in America. Eurovision deserves to be a success. It is now exploding around the world, although the American Song Contest did not do that well last year. There were fans. I was one of them. I didn't like the weekly format. I wish they'd follow the Eurovision format. I don't know why they don't. Just put it on Peacock and do it like 3 or 4 semifinals and a final in 1 week with no commercials, and just go out there and have fun with it. Canada is doing their own Eurovision, which is supposed to premiere sometime late this year. Brazil is doing one. It's going to be fun to see this Eurovision concept go around the world, and eventually I'd like to see an Amerivision, which will pit North, Central, and South America against each other the way that Eurovision competes against Europe and part of Asia and Australia. So the American Song Contest and Eurovision Canada can be considered national finals, and we would all get together and go against each other. America versus Brazil versus Venezuela versus Colombia versus Mexico versus Canada. That'd be fun. I would love to see them get there. This year, there are going to be slight changes in the way that they're going to announce their jury totals. Usually it is the previous winner that goes first. This year they're letting Ukraine go first, followed by the previous winner, Italy, and the United Kingdom will go last, as is tradition. That'll come up, and then of course they'll do the televote in the order of the jury votes, opposite, so the lowest number gets the first grade, and so on and so forth. It'll be fun to see the kind of points that rack up. It's going to be hard to get close to that total that Kalush Orchestra got to last year. There will be a plenty of talent on this year's show. Kalush Orchestra, who have been serving in the war in Ukraine, will be back on the stage in host city Liverpool, who is stepping in for the Ukraine this year. They will be there to perform last year's winner, Stefania, and another new single. We're having a number of previous performers perform in the interval. Some people will do the flag thing. Some people will do special things. Cornelia Jacobs from last year's show is there. Dottie Freyer is there. Netta is there. A whole bunch of people. It'll be fun to watch, and it always is a lot of fun to watch, because Eurovision is just the best musical spectacle ever created. It's so much fun. Now, let's talk about the odds. The odds, bookmakers in Britain have Loreen at the top of the book. Without a question, she has a 52% chance of winning, according to EurovisionWorld.com, which is pulling stuff in from various bookies around the country. Finland is second. God help us all. But he's way below Loreen, which is 22%. And the Ukraine is third with 6%. I just don't think the Ukraine is going to get that high. The song is just not that good. If it does, it's a sympathy vote, and that's not fair. Last year, at least, they actually had a good song. It wasn't my cup of tea, but I understood people really liking it, and I did love the flute bit. I'm going to say Sweden, Finland, and United Kingdom will be up there, and France will be up there as well, and possibly Austria. And again, I also think Slovenia is being terribly underrated. They have a less than 1% chance of winning, according to the bookies. The fandom says otherwise. My top 37 countdowns from all the YouTube fans says otherwise. I think it'll be in the top 10 at the end. We'll see what happens. Can somebody overcome the train wreck that is going to be Loreen? It's going to be damn difficult. I really don't know. She is an amazingly talented person. And like I said, as long as she keeps Finland from winning that trophy, I don't care. I don't care if it's France. I don't care if it's Israel. I don't care if it's Slovenia, Norway, Austria. I don't care. As long as we keep that trophy out of Finland's hands, I don't have a problem. Because that song is just pure crap. Sorry, Europe. It just is. But then again, you have a tendency to have at least one crap song that you go gaga for every year. And that's just the way you are. You wouldn't be Europe if you weren't doing it. And that's cool. It's all in fun. I don't mean anything nasty by that. I just don't like the song. I don't like the song. I don't like the staging. I don't like the performance. Karaja himself seems to be a pretty cool guy. I enjoyed the little bits and pieces they were doing with him in the green room segment. He seems to be a pretty cool dude, but I really just, I don't like the song. I don't like anything about it. So that's just how I am. Voting will open as soon as all 26 performers have finished, which is usually around 2 hours and 15 minutes into the show, because there's so many. It will start at 3. The performances will end around 5:15. They'll do some interval stuff, then they'll have the jury vote, and then they'll do some more interval stuff, and then they'll have the fan vote. It's averaging getting over around 7:15 U.S. Eastern Time every year. Right after the show, I will be here with a recap of this year's contest. We will be live on YouTube on TKR VideoCentral at approximately 7:20 or 7:25 this evening. I'll have a complete recap of all the stuff going on. We'll have notes, talk about fashion, talk about surprises. Hopefully there won't be any voting discrepancies this year, because last year and the year before there have been some problems, and Martin Osterdahl, Mr. Good to Go, had to substitute aggregate votes for them. I hope that won't happen this year. Hopefully we'll have it straight up, right up to the par. Of course, we all know Cyprus will vote for Greece, and Greece will vote for Cyprus, and just like always they do. But this year that's not bad. Of course, Cyprus won't be able to vote for Greece this year because Greece didn't get in the finals. But if they were both in there, that's usually how they do it. It's a great deal of fun, and if you've never seen it before, watch it, because it is killingly fun to watch. Kitschy, over the top, great songs, a lot of fun. Join us 3 o'clock Eastern on Peacock here in the U.S. and your own local time. I believe that works out to 8 o'clock UK time and 10 o'clock Central European time. I'm not sure. Join us for the Eurovision Song Contest Grand Finals, and join me right back here about 10 minutes after the end this evening. For the Road to Eurovision Grand Finals, I'm TC Kirkham. We will see you later today. May the best song win, as long as it's not Finland. Ciao, baby.